Okay, hello dear friends. Michelle is on the line again, and today I want to tell you a few words about a very dangerous international fraudulent project that specializes in providing financial markets access services. Yes, I have already told you that BTG-Capital are scammers, and it is to this project that I want to dedicate my review today. Friends, I kindly ask you to like my review and subscribe to my channel. Scammers have already deceived many traders, and the sooner we will tell about it, the higher will be the chances that there will be fewer victims. Well, and I'm starting my review. Let's go. Okay. Here we are. So, let's start by going back to the central page of the BTG-Capital project portal. It is very important to understand that this project actually represents organized crime. I would better say a real syndicate. He is focused to work in the market for a long time and to deceive the maximum possible number of traders. This means that the project has to make a portal that will be almost in no way inferior to a white, licensed and regulated broker. Therefore, it is very difficult to conduct an analysis based on a single site. Everything here is done very modernly and in line with the modern trends in the field of UX design and international standards of marketing practices. Frankly, it is difficult to find something suspicious on the site, but I will not say that it is impossible. I remind you that the BTG-Capital project is registered and regulated by the financial regulator in Mauritius. Without any hesitation, the broker openly talks about this to his clients, and of course it is confusing. We are used to the fact that if there is no license, then we definitely have a fraudster in front of us. And if there is a license, then with a high degree of probability they will not deceive us. But this is true only for those cases when the license is issued by some major national regulator of almost any of the European Union countries. Offshore regulators are actually just one solid fiction. Even Cyprus, which everyone is used to trust, even the financial regulator of the islanders, does not give any guarantees that you will not be deceived. Why? Well, look, if you are in France and you are trading with a broker that is registered in France and has received a license from Autorité Marché Financière, and one terrible day for himself, this broker decided to deceive you and steal your funds. What's going to happen next? You will go to the police, write a complaint, and then a criminal case will be opened against the broker very quickly. The license will be revoked, and maybe even the broker's management will be put in jail. Because national regulators very carefully check the legal purity of those companies that wish to become brokers. The regulator has all the necessary information about the founders, their residential addresses, locations of offices and websites. If the slightest suspicion arises, the broker's activity will be suspended and the check will be scheduled. I mean, the national financial regulator is really able to protect you effectively. The financial regulator of Mauritius simply will not do all this, and it does not have such powers. Moreover, I will assume that a high degree of probability that in Mauritius you will not even be able to get the address of the broker's office because all offshore accounting takes place within closed lists. And even if with some lucky combination of circumstances it will be possible to understand where the claim should be sent, I mean to what address and to whose name, then even this does not guarantee you any positive result. The reason for such An unfavorable scenario is that due to the particularities of offshore legislation, the regulation of the financial regulator on the territory of Mauritius are not mandatory for the broker, but have only the form and force of recommendations. And as you understand, the recommendation of the financial supervisory authority does not impose any obligations on the broker, and therefore he will not fulfill them. So the chances of somehow saving and returning money from a broker who is covered by an offshore regulator are almost zero. And here's what I also wanted to say about BTG-Capital. Their danger also lies in the fact that the project, well aware that it is engaged in illegal activities, very carefully monitors its business reputation. You can find enthusiastic and laudatory reviews about the activities of the project on almost all specialized resources on the internet dedicated to trading in international financial markets. I personally have no doubt that these reviews are paid and written to order. The fact is that they are very similar to each other. Most people write something like this: "How wonderful that I finally met such an honest broker as BTG-Capital. They pay money instantly and regularly, no matter what amount I ask for." And there are many such reviews. I will explain why this cannot happen in principle. The fact is that BTG-Capital does not have any financial instruments for the trader's work except for contract for difference in prices, that is CFDs. And this tool itself has such a high risk of total loss of the deposit that I would not advise you to work with it at all. Well, in fact, there are not so many successful traders, and in general, trading is not an easy profession. And here it turns out that a huge number of speculators not only work in profit, but also receive money regularly from a Mauritian broker. This is all complete nonsense. Yes, and once I even saw a whole review which was also undoubtedly bought with the money of BTG-Capital, where its offshore routes, on the contrary, were regarded as a plus. This is simply incomprehensible to the mind and can only be designed for an audience with a low level of professional literacy. But I have already told you about the danger of work with offshore jurisdictions. Okay guys, just a second, I am trying to come back to you. Okay, I'm here. I hope I managed to open your eyes to the activities of the BTG-Capital project today. Remember, no matter what they tell you, no matter what they write you, do not invest here in any case. This is too high risk that you will lose your entire deposit very quickly. That's all, dear friends, that I wanted to tell you today. I hope you enjoyed it. Thanks to everyone who watched my video. Be sure to write me your questions and suggestions in the comments. I will be glad to answer them. With that, I say goodbye to you until we meet in my new reviews. Ciao, guys.